The night Emily forgot her phone on the kitchen counter, I didn't think much of it. She'd been distracted for months, always texting someone, always slipping out to take calls. Work stuff, she'd say. But her job as a dental hygienist didn't exactly scream late-night emergencies. Still, I trusted her. Or maybe I just didn't want to see what was right in front of me. I was washing dishes when the screen lit up. A notification from someone named Mark. "Miss you already. Last night was perfect." My hands froze, soap suds dripping onto the floor. I stared at those words like they were written in another language. Then, I did the thing you're never supposed to do. I opened the phone. The messages went back months. Mark, you sure he doesn't suspect anything? Emily, he's clueless. Thinks the baby's his. Mark, can't wait to hold her again. She's got your smile. Emily, our little secret. Forever, our little secret. I read those words over and over, my throat tightening like a vice. The baby monitor on the counter crackled softly. Lily was asleep in her nursery, the room we'd painted sunflower yellow because Emily said it was a happy color. Now the walls felt like they were closing in. I stumbled to the couch, phone still in my hand. Scrolled further. Photos of them together. Emily laughing in a hotel robe, Mark's arm around her waist. Dates stamped last summer when she'd claimed she was visiting her sister in Ohio. A selfie of them in our bed, the floral duvet I'd bought her for our anniversary crumpled beneath them. But the worst message was from 3 weeks ago. Mark. Lily's eyes are just like yours, babe. Lily. Our 1-year-old daughter. The baby we'd prayed for after 2 miscarriages and a decade of empty nursery rooms. The baby I'd held in the delivery room, crying like an idiot while the nurse said, "She's perfect, Dad." Except she wasn't mine. I don't know how long I sat there. The garage door creaked open. Emily was home. She walked in humming, her cheeks flushed, grocery bags in hand. "Hey, babe. I grabbed that spicy mustard you like." She froze when she saw my face, saw her phone in my lap. "Who's Mark?" I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. She set the bags down slowly. "Jake, let me explain." "Explain what? That Lily's not my kid? That you've been screwing some guy in our bed?" I stood up, the phone clattering to the floor. "Who is she?" She didn't cry, didn't beg. Just crossed her arms and said, "He's Lily's father. Biologically, anyway." The words hit like a punch. You cheated to get pregnant?" "We needed a family," she said, like it was obvious. "You couldn't give me that." "Mark could." I laughed, a raw, broken sound. "So this was your plan? Trick me into raising his kid?" "It doesn't have to change anything," she said, stepping closer. "You're still her dad. We can still be a family." I backed away. "Are you insane? You lied to me for 2 years." Her calm cracked then. "What did you want me to do, Jake? Watch you cry every time another pregnancy test came back negative?" "You were falling apart. I fixed it." "You didn't fix shit. You betrayed me." We screamed for hours. Lily woke up crying. Emily didn't move to comfort her, just stood there cold as stone while I rocked our daughter in the nursery. Our daughter. Except she wasn't. At midnight, Emily packed a suitcase. "I'm staying with Mark," she said. I blocked the door. "You're not taking Lily," she smirked. Like she'd been waiting for this. "Fine. Keep her. But you'll adopt her legally. Full custody." "Why the hell would I do that?" "Because if you don't," she said, slipping past me, "I'll tell everyone you knew she wasn't yours from the start. That you're refusing to support your own child. How do you think that'll look in court, Jake? To your mom? To your buddies at the shop?" I felt sick. She was right. I'm just a mechanic. She's got cousins in law school, uncles who donate to judges. I'd lose Lily and my reputation. "Sign the papers," she said, "or I'll make sure you never see her again." The door slammed. Lily whimpered in my arms, her tiny fists clinging to my shirt. I sank to the floor, staring at the Disney. Decals on the wall, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, all the lies we'd built together. That's when the guilt hit, because part of me wanted to say no, to let Emily take Lily and walk away. But when I looked down at her, at the way her eyelashes fluttered as she fell asleep, the same way Emily's did, I couldn't breathe. She wasn't mine, but she felt like mine. The first night alone with Lily, I didn't sleep. She cried for 2 hours straight, a guttural, panicked wail that made me wonder if babies could sense abandonment. I rocked her in the glider Emily had picked out, the one with the ugly duckling. Pattern she'd insisted was vintage. Every squeak of the chair felt like a taunt. You're not her father, you're a placeholder. But then Lily grabbed my thumb, her whole hand wrapped around it, sticky and fierce, and she quieted. Just like that. Like I was a talisman. "What the hell am I supposed to do with you?" I whispered. She snuffled against my chest, her breath warm through my shirt. I'd agreed to adopt her out of spite. A twisted revenge fantasy where Emily would realize too late what she'd thrown away, where she'd beg to come back, and I'd slam the door in her face. But sitting there in the dark, the reality curdled in my gut. This wasn't a Lifetime movie. This was a human being who'd just lost her mother. Her mother. The word made me flinch. At dawn, I drove to Walmart, bought formula, diapers, a stuffed giraffe I thought might make Lily smile. The cashier, a teenage girl with chipped purple nail polish, cooed at her. "She's adorable! Looks just like you!" I almost dropped the credit card. The lie was everywhere. In the way strangers nodded at us in the cereal aisle. In the old lady at the park who said, "She's got your chin, dear." Even in the framed ultrasound photo on our mantle in our house, where Emily's perfume still lingered in the curtains. By day 3, I'd developed a routine. Bottle at 6 a.m., nap at 9, long walk in the stroller to avoid the silence of the house. I told myself it was temporary, that once the adoption papers were signed, Emily would swoop back in, and I'd hand Lily over with a middle finger and a lawsuit. Then the voicemail came. I was scrubbing spaghetti sauce off the wall, Lily's latest masterpiece, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. A woman's voice, husky like she'd been crying. "Jake, this is Clara. Mark's ex. I know what Emily did to you. We need to talk." The name Mark sent a white-hot spike through my chest. I called back so fast I misdialed twice. Clara answered on the first ring. "Meet me at the Waffle Barn on Route 9. Noon tomorrow. Come alone." "Why should I trust you?" I snapped. A pause. Then quietly. "Because she did the same thing to me." The Waffle Barn smelled like syrup and regret. Clara sat in the corner booth, shredding a napkin into confetti. She looked younger than I expected, maybe late 20s, with choppy blonde hair and a nose ring glinting under the fluorescence. Her eyes locked onto Lily in her carrier. "She looks like him," she said. "Who? Mark?" Clara nodded. The eyes, that stupid little cowlick. She reached out like she might touch Lily's head, then pulled back. "He showed me pictures, back when he thought I was dumb enough to stick around." The waitress came. Clara ordered black coffee. I asked for pancakes, then realized I wasn't hungry. "Start talking," I said. She stirred 3 sugars into her cup, the spoon clinking like a ticking clock. "Mark and I were married 6 years. We tried for a baby, had 3 miscarriages. Then he met her." Her voice turned venomous. "Emily, the compassionate co-worker who just wanted to support him through his grief." I stiffened. "Emily worked with Mark?" "At the dental clinic. He was her boss." Clara laughed bitterly. "She quit after the affair started. Told you she was freelancing, right?" My stomach dropped. Emily had claimed she was doing temp work. "It was all a game to her," Clara said. "She targets guys with money, fertility issues, shaky marriages, gets pregnant on purpose. Then once the baby's born, she blackmails them." "Blackmail for what?" "Cash. Gifts. My husband bought her a fucking Lexus." Clara's hand shook, coffee sloshing onto the table. When I confronted him, he said Emily threatened to tell everyone the baby was his unless he paid up. He gave her $50K to disappear. I thought I might throw up. Lily cooed in her carrier, kicking her feet. "But why give me the baby?" I said. "Why not just take the money and run?" Clara leaned in. "Because you're not rich, Jake. You're a mechanic. What's she gonna squeeze out of you? Child support?" Her gaze dropped to Lily. "Unless she's not even hers." The world tilted. "What?" "Think about it. Why would she hand over her golden ticket? Unless this kid isn't her biological child either. The pancakes arrived. I stared at the whipped cream melting into pink syrup. Emily's voice echoed in my head. We needed a family. You couldn't give me that. How do I find out? I said quietly. Clara slid a business card across the table. DNA test. They can do maternity too. I swabbed Lily's cheek in the Walmart parking lot. She giggled, thinking it was a game. My hands shook so badly I botched the first sample. While we waited for results, I drove to Emily's old clinic. The receptionist, a bored woman with a cat sweater, said Dr. Mark Tolbert had transferred to another location. She wouldn't say where. That night, I tore apart Emily's office, found a locked firebox under her desk. Inside, hospital. Bracelets from St. Mary's, dated 3 days before Lily's birth. A fake belly? No, the dates matched. But beneath them was an adoption agency pamphlet, serving birth mothers since 1987. My phone buzzed. The lab email, results, maternity test. Subject A, Lily, and Subject B, Emily. No biological match. The room spun. I gripped the changing table to stay upright. Lily babbled on the floor, stacking blocks. Her room. None of it was real. The doorbell rang. A woman stood on my porch, tears streaming down her face. She held a photo of Lily. I think that's my daughter. Sarah's knees buckled when she saw Lily. I caught her elbow, steering her to the couch. She clutched the photo like a relic, her eyes never leaving the baby banging a wooden spoon on the coffee table. Her name's Lily? She whispered. Yeah. I hovered, unsure whether to offer tea or a lawyer. You said you thought she was yours. Sarah unzipped her purse, pulling out a wrinkled hospital bracelet. Baby girl Martinez. 7. LB's 2 Oz. Born 9:14 p.m. The date matched Lily's birthday. They told me she died, Sarah said. Her voice was frayed at the edges. They let me hold her once. She had this birthmark. She pointed to Lily's thigh, where a faint strawberry blotch curved like a comma. Right here. Then a nurse took her for tests, came back an hour later saying her heart stopped. Lily toddled over, offering Sarah her spoon. Sarah took it with trembling hands. Can I? I nodded. She scooped Lily into her lap, burying her face in the baby's dark curls. Lily squirmed, then settled, patting Sarah's cheek with sticky fingers. I knew it, Sarah breathed. I felt it. They kept saying I was crazy, that grief was making me hallucinate. I sat on the floor, back against the couch. Emily forged everything. Birth certificate, hospital records, even the damn footprints. Sarah stiffened. Emily? The woman who took her? My ex-wife. The word tasted like ash. We pieced it together over stale coffee. Sarah, a single mom working, 2 jobs, had gone to a crisis pregnancy center after her boyfriend split. Emily, posing as a nurse, had befriended her. She was so kind, Sarah said. Brought me snacks, drove me to appointments. The day I went into labor, she met me at the hospital. Said she'd advocate for me. Then she stole your baby. Sarah's jaw tightened. I reported the birthmark to the police. They said it was a common delusion. My family stopped taking my calls. I lost my apartment. My job. She traced Lily's ear. I started searching foster databases, morgues. Then I saw your post in the missing babies group. My stomach dropped. I'd posted Lily's photo last week, a desperate, has anyone seen this woman? About Emily. Sarah had recognized the blanket in the picture. Pink elephants, bought from a flea market the day before she gave birth. What happens now? I said. Sarah looked up, tears glistening. I want my daughter back. Lily chose that moment to yank Sarah's hair and screech, Dada! We both froze. She's never said that before, I lied. Sarah's face crumpled. The cops came the next day. Detective Ruiz, a no-nonsense woman with a silver streak in her hair, examined the DNA results and Sarah's evidence. We'll need to take the child into custody while we sort this out. The hell you will, I said. Sarah touched my arm. Jake, She's not a child. She's Lily. She hates car seats and loves Bluey and sleeps with this stupid owl plushie. I thrust Mr. Hoot at the detective. You gonna stuff that in an evidence bag? Ruiz sighed. It's procedure. We'll place her with a certified foster family until paternity is confirmed. She's my family, Sarah and I said in unison. We stared at each other. Ruiz suggested a compromise. Lily stays with me temporarily. Sarah gets supervised visits. But if the court rules in her favor, you'll need to hand the child over immediately. After they left, Sarah lingered on the porch. I don't want to take her from you, but you will. She hugged herself. She's my baby, and mine. Emily's letter arrived the day before the custody hearing. I found it wedged in the mailbox, no return address. The handwriting was hers, loopy and rushed, like she'd scribbled it on a moving train. Jake, I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. My sister got mixed up with loan sharks. They said they'd kill her if I didn't pay $200K. I tried everything. Then I met Sarah. She was alone, scared. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I thought I could give the baby back after the debt was cleared. But then you loved her so much, and I loved you. Forgive me. EI read it 5 times. Then I burned it in the sink. Lily cried when the ashes clogged the drain. The courtroom smelled like lemon polish and regret. Sarah wore a navy blazer too big for her frame, her hair pulled into a tight bun. I'd dressed Lily in her sunflower dress, the one Emily bought for her first birthday. The judge, a weary man with bifocals, reviewed the files. This is highly irregular. Mr. Carter, you admit you're not the biological father? Yes, but... And Ms. Martinez is the birth mother. Confirmed by DNA? Sarah nodded. Yes, Your Honor. Then I'm inclined to grant full custody to Ms. Martinez. Lily chose that moment to shriek, "No!" and hurl Mr. Hoot at the judge. The bailiff snorted. The judge adjusted his glasses. However, given the child's attachment to Mr. Carter, I'll allow transitional visitation, weekends and holidays, increasing over time. Sarah reached for my hand under the table. I let her. We drove to the park afterward. Lily napped in her stroller while Sarah and I sat on adjacent benches, strangers tethered by a shared ghost. You can see her whenever you want, Sarah said. I know. I mean it. You're her dad. I watched a sparrow land on the stroller, pecking at a Cheerio stuck to the tray. What if she forgets me? Sarah smiled sadly. She won't. That night, I packed Lily's favorite books, her allergy meds, the giraffe with the squeaker in its tail. Sarah arrived at dawn, her car, stuffed with a new car seat and a teddy bear still tagged. Lily hugged my leg. No go! I knelt, pressing my forehead to hers. You're gonna have so much fun, Bug. Sarah's got a puppy, remember? Dada come? Sarah looked away. Soon, I lied. As they pulled away, Lily's hand smeared the rear window. I stood in the driveway until the taillights vanished. The house echoed. I found Emily's firebox under the bed, the adoption pamphlet still inside. Beneath it was an ultrasound photo I'd never seen, a tiny blur labeled Baby Girl Martinez. I drove to the river where Emily and I used to skip stones, held the photo over the water. Let go. The current took it. 3 months later, Sarah texts me a video. Lily in pigtails, chasing a golden retriever. First word besides Dada? Dog. Typical. I reply, she'll be a vet someday. Sarah, or a mechanic. She tried to fix the TV with a spoon. I'm smiling when the doorbell rings. Detective. Ruiz stands on the porch, holding a warrant. We found Emily. She's willing to testify against the trafficking ring, if you'll vouch for her. The phone buzzes in my hand. Lily's laughter tinny through the speaker. Well, Mr. Carter? Ruiz says. Do you forgive her? I step outside, letting the door swing shut behind me. The word forgive hung between us like a struck match. Detective Ruiz waited, her pen poised over a notepad. Somewhere down the street, a dog barked, and the scent of rain on hot asphalt seeped into the air. I thought of Lily's hand pressed against the car window, the way Sarah's voice cracked when she said, "You're her dad," the ultrasound photo dissolving in the river. What happens if I don't vouch for her? I asked. Ruiz tucked the warrant back into her folder. Then, she rots in a cell while the men who forced her walk. Your call. I stepped aside, letting her into the house. Emily looked smaller in the interrogation video Ruiz showed me. Her hair, once glossy and styled in the beach waves I'd loved, hung limp around her face. A bruise bloomed on her jawline, yellowing, at the edges. They moved me every week, she said to the camera. Motels, storage units. Once a fucking funeral home. Her laugh was a dry rasp. Lily's adoption was supposed to be my last job. Then I met Jake. Ruiz paused the tape. She's been cooperative. Gave us names, ledgers, drop locations. But the DA wants a character witness. Someone to confirm she was coerced. I stared at Emily's frozen image. You think she's lying? I think, Ruiz said carefully. Hurt people, hurt people. Sarah answered on the first ring. Is she okay? Lily's fine. It's about Emily. A beat of silence. They found her? I told her about the warrant, the trafficking ring, the choice I had no right to make. Sarah's breath hitched when I mentioned testifying. You're going to help her, she said flatly. I don't know. Yes, you do. A baby wailed in the background. Lily, fighting nap time. You're the guy who buys giraffes for a baby that isn't his. Of course you'll help. She stole your child, Sarah. And you loved her anyway. Sarah's voice softened. Bring her home, Jake. Lily deserves to know the truth. The safe house reeked of cigarette smoke and ammonia. Emily sat at a chipped formica table, cuffed to a chair. She didn't look up when I entered. They said you'd come. I dragged a chair across the floor, the legs screeching. Start talking. Her story spilled out in fragments. Her sister, addict-brained and desperate, owed money to a syndicate that trafficked newborns. They threatened to sell her organs. I had to fake pregnancies, forge papers. I never kept the babies. Not until Lily. Why her? Emily finally met my gaze. Because when I handed her to you, you cried. Real tears. Not like the others, who just saw a receipt. I flinched. You watched me love a lie. It wasn't a lie. Her chains clinked as she leaned forward. You think biology's the only thing that makes a parent? Sarah gave birth to her. You gave her a life. What did I ever give her except trauma? You gave her to me, I said quietly. The trial lasted 3 days. I sat beside Ruiz, recounting every lie, every stolen moment. Emily's sister testified via video link, track marks spidering her arms, her voice a monotone dirge. The traffickers got life sentences. Emily got 5 years, reduced to 3 for cooperation. As they led her away, she mouthed, "Thank you." I didn't wave back. Lily's 3rd birthday party was held at Sarah's apartment. Balloons clung to the ceiling, and a lopsided cake bore a crooked 3 in blue frosting. Sarah's golden retriever, now a permanent fixture, wore a party hat. Mail came, Sarah said, handing me an envelope. Inside was a crayon drawing, a stick figure family under a rainbow, a woman with black scribble hair, the word Mom in shaky capitals. She started asking about Emily, Sarah said. I didn't know what to say. I tucked the drawing into my jacket. I'll take her to visit next week. Sarah squeezed my hand. You're a good dad, Jake. The prison visiting room buzzed with tinny voices and the clatter of vending machines. Lily clutched Mr. Hoot, her legs swinging under the too big chair. Emily entered, her orange jumpsuit swallowing her whole. Lily tilted her head. You my... Mom? Emily's eyes flooded. Yeah, bug. I am. Where you been? Getting better. Lily considered this, then shoved the stuffed owl across the table. Mr. Hoot protects you now. Emily pressed it to her chest. Thanks, baby. On the drive home, Lily chattered about rainbows and puppies. I glanced in the rearview mirror, catching her smile, a perfect blend of Sarah's resilience and Emily's crooked mischief. And maybe, if I squinted, a little of mine. Emily got out on a Tuesday. The sky was the kind of gray that feels like a held breath. She called me from a payphone, her voice tinny and small. Can I see her? Lily was at kindergarten, parent-teacher conferences. Sarah and I sat in tiny, Plastic chairs while Ms. Nguyen praised Lily's imagination and empathy, words that felt too heavy for a 5-year-old who still slept with a stolen motel soap in her pillowcase for protection. "You're quiet," Sarah said afterward, buckling Lily into the car. I handed her Emily's crumpled parole letter. Sarah read it, her knuckles whitening on the steering wheel. "What did you say?" "Nothing yet." Lily kicked the seat. "Who's nothing?" Sarah forced a smile. "Just grown-up stuff, Bug." But Lily had stopped being fooled by grown-up stuff. The week before, she'd asked why Sarah's eyes were brown and hers were green. "Like Emily's," she'd said, matter of fact. I met Emily at the river. She'd lost weight, her parole issued, jeans hanging loose. She held a Ziploc bag of stale gummy bears, Lily's favorite. "They're probably expired," she said. "She'll eat them anyway." We stood in silence, watching ducks slice through the water. Finally, she said, "I don't want custody. Just a photo. A voicemail. Something." "Why now?" Her laugh was bitter. "Prison shrinks. They make you dig up all the rot." She palmed a stone, skimming it across the surface. "I thought if I stayed away, she'd forget me. Be happier." "She's not happy or unhappy? She's confused?" Emily turned, her eyes glinting. "Then let me fix it." "You don't get to fix things," I snapped. "You get to live with them." She flinched. The ducks scattered. Sarah vetoed the visit. "It's too soon. She's still adjusting to school." But Lily found Emily's parole letter in my toolbox, the one where she doodled hearts on the envelope. "Is my mom coming home?" Sarah froze, mid-sip of coffee. "Emily's not. She's just visiting," I said. Lily tilted her head. A carbon copy of Emily's interrogation tape. "Can I show her Mr. Hoot? He has new wings." She'd glued pigeon feathers to the owl, a project that left our couch speckled with glitter. Sarah set down her mug. "We'll talk about it later, okay?" Later, in the garage, Sarah hissed, "You can't let her waltz back in. She'll disappear again, and Lily, she's sober. Employed. What if she's changed?" "People don't change," Sarah said, but her voice wavered. We compromised. Supervised visits at the park. Emily arrived early, pacing under the swing set. Lily spotted her first. "Mom!" Sarah's grip tightened on the stroller handle. Lily's baby brother, Mateo, slept inside. Emily crouched, arms open. Lily barreled into her, knocking them both onto the mulch. "You're squishy," Lily said, poking Emily's ribs. "Prison food," Emily joked, but her eyes were wet. Sarah hung back, snapping photos like a war correspondent. "She's okay," I said. "You don't know that." Lily dragged Emily to the slides, chatter rising. "And Dada lets me eat cereal for dinner sometimes, but don't tell Sarah." Emily glanced at me, smirking. "Rebel." Sarah stiffened. "She calls you Dada now? She's 5. It's easier than Jake." "Right." Sarah wheeled Mateo away. The visits became Sundays. Emily brought library books, science kits, a ukulele she couldn't play. Lily taught her Twinkle Twinkle, their off-key duets drawing stares from joggers. One afternoon, Emily whispered, "Can I take her for ice cream?" "Just us?" Sarah said no. I said yes. We fought in hissed whispers while Lily colored at the kitchen table. "You're undermining me," Sarah said. "You're suffocating her." Lily looked up. "I'm not suffocated. I'm fine." Sarah's face crumpled. She left without her jacket. The ice cream trip went sideways. Lily, hyped on sprinkles, asked Emily, "Why were you in jail?" Emily fumbled her cone. "I made bad choices. Like not brushing teeth? Worse. I hurt people." Lily lapsed into silence. At home, she drew a picture. Emily behind bars, Lily waving from a rainbow. Sarah framed it. "She's processing," I said. Sarah traced the crayon bars. "Aren't we all?" Emily's sister showed up in October. Gaunt, twitchy, she cornered me at the gas station. "Where's Em?" "Not here." She laughed, sour and sharp. "Still playing hero? Em's a virus. She'll infect that kid just like—" I slammed the pump handle. "Get lost, Mara." But she followed me home. Sat on the curb screaming about debts unpaid, sins unburied. Sarah called the cops. Lily watched from her window. Mr. Hoot clutched to her chest. After Emily scrubbed Mara's spit off the driveway. I'll handle her. How? I said. You handled her last time. She winced. I'm trying, Jake. Lily appeared. On the porch, holding a Band-Aid. For your hands. Emily's knuckles were raw from scrubbing. She let Lily apply the Band-Aid, pink with cartoon cats. Thanks, Bug. Don't fight anymore, Lily said. None of us promised. At Thanksgiving, Sarah hosted. Emily brought store-bought pie. Lily insisted they wear matching turkey hats. Gravy's burning, Sarah lied, fleeing to the kitchen. I followed. She was crying over the stove. Hey, I said. I hate this. She stirred the gravy viciously. I hate that she gets to be the fun mom while I'm the bitch who makes her eat broccoli. You're her rock. Rocks get climbed over. She turned, gravy boat in hand. What happens when Lily chooses her? She won't. She already has. We served dinner. Lily made a toast. To moms and dadas and no more yelling. Emily clinked her glass. Sarah excused herself. That night, Emily texted, Can we talk? We met at the river. She wore Lily's turkey hat, absurd and endearing. I'm leaving, she said. What? Sarah's right. I'm messing up Lily's head, and you… She chucked a stone. You look at me like I'm a grenade. You are, she smiled, sad. Then why'd you catch me? The moon blurred. I kissed her. She pulled back first. Don't. I'll ruin this too. Lily's drawing crinkled in my pocket. The prison rainbow. The stick figure family. Stay, I said. 6 years later, Lily's graduation party swarms with strangers. Sarah's golden retriever, now gray-muzzled, steals hamburgers. Mateo chases fireflies. Emily hands me a beer. She looks like you. Lily does, in the way that matters. My stubborn chin, my habit of chewing pens. She's heading to college for psychology. Want to fix broken people? She says. Sarah toasts. To Lily. Our best mistake. Emily clinks her glass. I slip outside, finding Lily by the river. You okay? She asks. I hand her the crumpled prison drawing. Never better. She hugs me, her bracelet jangling. Sarah's birthstone, Emily's parole tag, my mechanic's bolt. Love you, Dada. The water carries the words away. The river carried Lily's laughter downstream, blending with the cicadas' hum. Behind us, the party raged. Sarah arguing with the grill, Mateo shrieking as Emily chased him with sparklers. Lily squeezed my hand, her bracelet catching the moonlight. Remember when you used to tell me Mr. Hoot fought off monsters? She said. Still does, I lied. She rolled her eyes. 16 and invincible. You know I don't believe in that anymore, right? Believe what you want. I flicked her hat. But keep the owl, for me. She grinned, Emily's grin, and bounded back to the party. Some of you are furious. Emily doesn't deserve forgiveness. I get it. Betrayal isn't a math problem. There's no clean sum. Others are sobbing into your coffee, whispering, but family isn't blood, it's love. Maybe you're Sarah, guarding your heart, or Jake, loving a lie until it becomes truth. Here's what I know. Life isn't a Reddit thread. There's no update button when the dust settles. You just wake up, scrub spaghetti off walls, and hope the people you've cobbled together stick around. Was I right to forgive Emily? Hell if I know. But Lily's alive. Laughing. And isn't that the only ending that matters? Thank you. If you made it this far, through the lies, the DNA tests, the glitter-infused therapy sessions, thank you. Truly. These stories aren't just mine. They're yours. The ones you carry in your notes app, your late-night Google searches, the truths you're not ready to speak. If this mess of love and mistakes meant something to you, check out my other videos. There's one about my mom's letters from rehab, another about adopting a stray dog that bit 3 UPS guys. Real life's messy. Let's be messy together. Until next time, keep gluing feathers to your owls.